and Firefighter of the Year Award, presented to Fire Service Paramedic Captain April Smallwood and Firefighter Sean Dugan. The Philadelphia Fire Department is privileged and honored to have Fazorian Associates and the Philadelphia Contribution Ship sponsor the EMS Provider of the Year, and the National Fire Sprinklers Association sponsor the Firefighter of the Year Award. The Historical Corporation Board of Directors are comprised of men and women from the private sector who donate their time and energy and resources of this museum. Today's awards recipients were selected by the Board of Directors Nominating Committee. Please allow me to introduce the President of the Historical Corporation, Mr. Eugene Janda.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, it's nice to be open again. You know I talk to Brian all the time, and we were just hoping that this day would come soon. I'm Gene Janda. Right now, my current job, I'm the Chief of Fire and Emergency Services at the University of Pennsylvania. About 21 years ago, I was a fire captain at the Philadelphia Fire Academy. That's where I ended my career. It was the toughest decision to make, is to step outside the fire department, because it's what I loved and the people that I loved was all in that job. I still get to see that all the time, because yesterday I was in Engine 5 Station on campus business, but they still accommodate me and say, and also I know right now I am on the board. I'm the president of the Philadelphia Fire Department Historical Corporation. You see this beautiful building that the city provides us. The fire department staffs the building, and the corporation helps in making things happen to make sure all the programs that we do, education, things like that. We're mainly concerned with the history of firefighting in Philadelphia, the history of the Philadelphia Fire Department, and how that keeps going on, as you see right now. It keeps going on and on because every day history is made in the fire department. And I will be honest with you, when it comes down to this, I feel proud to be connected to the fire service through the Philadelphia Fire Department Historical Corporation. So I was on the nominating committee, and I read both, thoroughly, and I'll be honest with you, they really, I saw bravery and I saw professional dedication in the 2 awards that are being given out today. This is a fantastic award ceremony. Usually they're separated, but this time they're coming together because of COVID. And that makes me feel good that we're able to give this award today and actually honor the Philadelphia Fire Department, because I know the 2 awardees, it's a microcosm of what's done in the department. I know every day they're out there, people are out there serving the citizens of Philadelphia. And actually, one other thing I do know, it's not just on the job. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're serving citizens, and even outside the city, wherever you go, I know that. I wish the award winners best of luck in the future, and I'm just proud to be here.
Thank you, Mr. Eugene Janda. At this time, I would like to introduce the Fire Commissioner, Adam K. Teal, for his remarks.
Good morning again. I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier, thankfully. I will simply reiterate that it has been an incredibly challenging year for the Philadelphia Fire Department and Office of Emergency Management. As our members, all 3,000 of them, have done what they always do, which is focus on our mission and our dedication to serving others, we have necessarily had to set aside some of the ceremonies and the celebrations that we normally accomplish throughout the year. And I am also pleased and thank Chief Janda for giving us this opportunity now that the museum's open to take a moment, take a pause, and celebrate 2 exemplars of all of the folks in the Philadelphia Fire Department OEM who continue to serve this great city, no matter what. COVID, hurricanes, fires, emergency medical incidents of all types. It's what we do. And what you'll see, or as you see the videos about what these folks have been, are being recognized for, you'll notice a few characteristics that I can tell you, and they will tell you, are also represented in all of our members. And what that is truly, literally, selfless service. I'll start with Fire Service Paramedic Captain Smallwood, who in her role as our department's infection control officer works 24/7, 365 before COVID, and there frankly is no way to work more than that, but somehow April has. She has taken care of all of us, all of the members of our department, our dispatchers, our EMTs, our paramedics, our firefighters, even me, on our most difficult days. Obviously, as we respond to 800 to 1,000 emergency incidents every 24 hours, we have a lot of exposure to not just COVID-19, but a host of other infectious diseases that exist in our environment. And we never let that get in our way. We haven't let it get in our way of providing service, not once. And that is due in large measure to the work of Captain Smallwood, who is also a registered nurse and takes her time, I promise you, 7 days a week to take care of our own. And that is perhaps the highest duty that we have, is taking care of each other. You see, if we can't take care of each other, then there's no way we can take care of the 1.6 million residents, our businesses, and visitors to this great city. And that commitment to serving our city and our members, both on duty and off duty, is further exemplified by Firefighter Sean Dugan, who is being recognized today not just for his heroic actions off duty during an emergency incident, but for all the other things that he does for our department and our members. In addition to serving our citizens as a member of Engine 68, Firefighter Dugan also serves his sister and brother firefighters and medics as a peer counselor, and also, well, I guess as a peer counselor for all of the stress and the mentally health challenging things that we face, and also as a peer fitness counselor. So Sean helps take care of all of us, body and mind, as we take care of others. And we know that for both of them and their families, that comes at a price. The time that they should be and could be spending with their own families is largely spent with their Philadelphia Fire Department and Office of Emergency Management family. And we just cannot say enough about our appreciation, our collective appreciation for everything they do for us, to the families. Thank you for sharing them with us and letting them take care of us the way they take care of you. And with that, I will turn it back over to our esteemed curator to go on with the rest of the program. But let's take a moment and give both of these incredible folks a round of applause.
Thank you, Commissioner. Before we read the narrative for each, I want to give you some history on each candidate, each recipient. First one for EMS Provider of the Year, Captain April Smallwood, is a 20-year member of the PFD, assigned to Medic 22 from the Fire Training Academy in December of 2000. Fire Service Paramedic and Registered Nurse, currently assigned to Philadelphia Fire Department's Health and Safety Office as the Infectious Control Officer. Interacts with exposed members, coordinating hospital care, documentation, and aftercare 24 hours, 7 days a week. Mother of her 24-year-old son, Damir Smith, and grandmother of her baby boy. A member of the PFD CERT team, and received her master's degree in leadership, nursing education in December of 2019. At this time, I would ask Battalion Chief Daniel Cowden to read the narrative for our EMS Provider of the Year.
Good day, folks. This would be my nomination for Captain Smallwood for the EMS Provider of the Year. Quickly talk about her background. She's a registered nurse. She's a Pro Board certified hazmat technician, currently managing and overseeing day-to-day operations in the ICO, or the Infection Control Office. April manages PFD resources and our logistics for major and minor outbreaks of infectious disease across the city of Philadelphia. Captain Smallwood, with her limited resources, implements, oversees, and coordinates, in conjunction with the command staff in the health department, CDCs, and all the hospitals and medical facilities in the greater Philadelphia area. Captain Smallwood implements and oversees immunizations department-wide, tracks and trends conditions in the department. Captain Smallwood also interacts with exposed members, coordinating hospital care for our members, documentation and aftercare 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. In addition to that tasking, she deals directly with our firefighter candidates and their entries into the fire department, assists with documentation and orientation of hundreds of prospective fire service paramedics, firefighters, and firefighter EMTs. The reason why Captain Smallwood was nominated for this award. Over the last year, I have had the privilege to oversee and learn from this outstanding example of an officer. Captain Smallwood, without wavering, executes her tasks, handles adversity, and performs with a high degree of professionalism. Captain Smallwood consistently sets the bar high, and I find myself trying to keep up. Captain Smallwood is committed to the highest ideals of the fire department. She continually does the right thing for the right reasons. Her hours of operation are 24/7, and the same quality and performance that she delivers at 10 a.m. is the same you can expect at 10 p.m. without fail. Her numerous and ever-growing range of responsibilities only strengthen her resolve. She never shies away from new challenges or new opportunities. This officer, in my opinion, exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated professional. If I can say anything about Captain Smallwood, I would say this, is that she does the right things for the right reasons. Her contributions to her community are great. Captain Smallwood tirelessly not only works with our members, but for the fire department and the citizens of Philadelphia. Captain Smallwood works in concert with the health department, the CDC, to keep our members safe, but not only to better us, but to better treat the citizens of Philadelphia as well. Educating, providing information to all our field forces enhances their ability to deliver better care. This protects our members and betters the experience for the public on every encounter, every day. The quality and care provided to every citizen, every patient contact, every day is a direct reflection of her tireless efforts and the work and care she puts in. Some other factors that were considered. Although Captain Smallwood is not currently holding a field billet, this should not in any way diminish the countless contributions she makes on a day-to-day basis. Her contributions to the fire department continue at all hours of the day and night, 365 days a year. Captain Smallwood demonstrates not only leadership ability, but the drive to continually improve. Captain Smallwood initiated and maintains the BioQuil program that every medic unit across the city is sanitized so every provider is protected from the potential spread of infectious diseases. A first for the Philadelphia Fire Department. Captain Smallwood produces the highest quality of work I have ever seen. With a very small staff, limited resources, and logistical obstacles and hurdles to overcome, most would have quit a long time ago. She continues to impress me with her drive and motivation and zeal, all great things that she brings to the table. She gets great pleasure from success and brings others along with her and elevates at every opportunity. Her humor, knowledge, and skill is impressive and has taught me a few tricks along the way. I have yet to encounter a more deserving officer for this award. On a personal note, April is one of the most professional officers that I have had the privilege of working with. In almost 20 years, I have not seen someone constantly accept greater and greater challenges and just keep coming back for more. It has been an absolute privilege to work alongside her and to see her consistently succeed, because success does breed success. And I see that the members that she has brought and surrounded herself with have all become successful themselves. And that is a testament to her leadership and her God-given abilities. So I would just like to say congratulations to April. I am very, very happy that she was able to receive this award. And I wish her continuing success as she continues to move through the fire department, raising the bar for not only me, but everyone else that has the privilege to work with her.
Firefighter of the Year, Firefighter Sean Dugan from Engine 68 on the C Platoon. Is a 12-year member of the PFD, assigned to Ladder 13 in 2008 from the Fire Training Academy, and transferred to Engine 68 in 2015. Married to his beautiful wife Sylvia and their baby daughter Angeline. Currently sitting number 3 on the current lieutenant's promotion list. Was an adjunct fire instructor for the Fire Training Academy Cadet Class 198 and is a fitness instructor and part of Local 22's fitness peer group. He is also a member of the Philadelphia Fire Department Peers Counseling Group affiliated with the EAP and is an assistant soccer coach for Roman Catholic High School and mentor to the young men. At this time, I'd like to ask Captain Joseph Conroy to read the narrative for the Firefighter of the Year.
Good afternoon. My name is Captain Mike Conroy. I work at Engine 68 on the C Platoon at 52nd in Baltimore. I'm going to read the following award nomination for Firefighter Sean Dugan. On May 27, 2020, at approximately 1000 hours, Sean Dugan from Engine 68 on the C Platoon performed a true act of valor. At the intersection of Easton and Warrington Road in Warrington Township, Pennsylvania, a horrific two-vehicle accident had occurred. While returning from a doctor's appointment, Sean Dugan, his wife Sylvia, and baby daughter Angelina were stopped at the intersection and witnessed that accident. An SUV driven by Miss Lorna Best had slammed into the rear of another vehicle. Inside the SUV were Lorna's mother and 3 children, ages 6, 8, and 11 months. As the vehicles impacted each other, the severely damaged front engine compartment of the SUV suddenly engulfed in flames and started pouring thick, black, deadly smoke into the vehicle. Sean, with his young wife and child watching safely from their own vehicle, jumped into heroic action. As the 6 and 8-year-old children were being helped out, of the side rear window by their mother, Sean ran up to the scene wearing just gym shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flops. With screaming bystanders and other onlookers paralyzed with fear, Sean ascertained the severity of the situation. The fire was starting to rage out of control and deadly smoke was pouring throughout the vehicle. Sean heard someone nearby screaming that the baby was still in the back seat. With zero regards for his own safety and his family watching in horror, Sean crawled through the door, entering the damaged vehicle. Crawling through deployed airbags, glass and debris, and smoke, Sean made it to the rear seat, coming upon a quiet but unharmed baby. The baby was still strapped in the car seat. Sean unbuckled the baby and crawled back through debris, shielding the baby with his own body, reaching safety. After that ordeal, Sean commandeered 2 fire extinguishers from bystanders and attempted to extinguish the inferno. As the Warrington Fire Department and police departments arrived on scene, Sean was greeted with cheers from the crowd and a huge hug at the best. Sean returned to his family, who again greeted him with hugs and tears. The action of Firefighter Dugan on that day exemplifies who he is as a man and a Philadelphia firefighter. His selfless act and training came together on that day, saving the life of another and avoiding tragic consequences. Sean Dugan's heroic act will forever be etched in the minds of the family and bystanders on that fateful day. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Sean on a personal note and a little bit of his history real quick. And I'll continue to read because all my thoughts are on here, so bear with me, please. Sean Dugan is currently an assistant soccer coach for Roman Catholic High School for boys. He's not only a coach, but a mentor to the young men of the team. Sean he's also a certified fitness instructor and part of Local 22's peer fitness group. Again, he's not only an instructor, but he is an inspiration to that group. Sean also was an adjunct fire instructor for many classes the last year and a half up at the Fire Academy. Now, Shawnee's backstory is quite impressive, to say the least. Almost a decade ago, Sean struggled with an alcohol and drug addiction that in his own words, almost killed me. Sean he's quite open about his previous struggles with addiction and takes complete ownership of his past actions and is willing to share his experiences with anyone. His struggle to get clean is an amazing story that is best told by him. During one particular conversation we had together, I asked him, I said, Sean, did you ever worry about losing your job? And he was like, Mike, I wasn't really worried about losing my job. At my lowest point, I was worried about dying. So this is how low he was at one point. His comeback over the last 10 years is truly amazing. He is honestly the most positive and real person I believe I've ever encountered in my life. He helped so many people, it would take a week for me to put it all on paper. On a personal level, and a story that I haven't shared with many people, Sean touched my family in a way that cannot be forgotten. On a random night work a few years ago, Sean, being keenly aware of everyone else around him, as he always is, noticed I was much quieter during the change of shift than usual. About an hour or so later, Sean came into the office, shut the door, pulled up a chair, and he said, talk to me. What's going on? He had no idea the turmoil I was going through with one of my sons. Give me a sec, please. The previous night, I received the most horrific phone call I've ever received. My son was contemplating the worst. My wife and I were a complete mess. We managed to get my son to our house that night and make sure he was in a better place for the time being. I proceeded to go to work the next night, still in some state of shock as to what was happening to my family. I honestly didn't know what to do or who to turn to at the time. When Sean came to the office and recognized I was in trouble, it was actually a relief for me. I explained to him what was going on, and he immediately got on his phone. At that time, I had no idea. I was unaware that he was a member of the fire department's peer counselor group, affiliated with the Employee Assistance Program. Thank God he had the knowledge and resources for my son. Within an hour or so, my son was on his way to a crisis center near our home. He was admitted and received inpatient treatment for a week. There was an amazing difference in my son after that week. He was diagnosed with depression and has received the treatment he desperately needed. All due to Sean having the ability to recognize and act quickly. My son is currently a police officer in the state of Pennsylvania. And without Sean realizing I was in trouble and acting as quickly as he did to get the resources my son needed, I don't know what would have happened that night. I honestly thank God on a regular basis for putting Sean in the right place at the right time to help me and my family. And this is actually very, very true also. I wish I could tell this story with a live audience, and I could use my hand gestures, and you could probably hear the emotion in my voice, but if you could just, it's difficult to read, but it would come over better, convey you better how appreciative we are and what Sean did to our family if this was live, but this is almost as good. So writing about this is difficult because, you know, it's difficult to read, and it's difficult to read to someone. So that's my backstory with Sean. I met him in 2015 when I got assigned to Ladder 13 here, and I've been lucky enough to stay here for a few years. And I didn't know him from Adam. I knew the name. That's about it. And after 5-6 years now, he is an integral part of my family and a true friend. And for him to have this, for God to put him where he was put on that day with Lorna Best and her family, and for him to do the thing that he did that day really wasn't shocking at all. And when we hear the story around the firehouse, you're like, yeah, that's absolutely something Sean would do. He's a true blessing to his family, the department, and the city. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lorna Best. It was May 27th? 27th. Me, my mom, and my 3 kids, George Spain, he's 7, Gianni Spain, she's 4, and my baby, who's 1, her name is Gemma Spain. We were coming from the mall. We were coming from the bank. And we were going to BJ's to get do a little bit of food shopping. And my 4-year-old screamed. And I turned around to see what was wrong. And I saw the light red. I saw the lady car in front of me. And by the time I turned back around, I heard my mom scream my name. And the car crashed. Airbags deployed. My 4-year-old flew to the front of the car. So once I cleared the airbag out of my face, I saw her there, and I just jumped into action. And I pulled her out the car, and I looked at her to make sure she was okay. She had a cut under her chin, and she was bleeding. And my son was in the back screaming my name. I couldn't get his door open, so he climbed through the front and got out on the driver's side. So my 2 oldest kids was out the car. And at that time, my mom was still trying to get her composure. And she said, I screamed, the car is on fire, get out. I don't remember none of that. So a couple months before, I don't know why I bought this object. I bought a window breaker off Amazon. So I ran around to where Gemma was at, and I tried to open her door. I couldn't get it open. I ran back around and grabbed the window breaker, and I broke the window, and I tried to get her out the car. But the way the airbags came down, it stopped me from going through the window to grab her out. And I was just screaming, my baby is in the car. Sean came out of nowhere, jumped in the front seat of the car while the car was on fire, and grabbed my daughter out that car. At this time, this was when Corona was, still new and in the early stages. He didn't care. He brought me my baby and said she is okay. And he gave me a hug. And he stayed there with us the whole time. I don't know who else bought a fire extinguisher. I don't know if it was out of his car. He went up to the front of the car, put the smoke out the car, and stood there and waited until we all got into the ambulance. He gave me his phone number, He told me to call him to let him know that he was okay. I called him at the hospital and told him that everybody was okay. The next day he texted me, and we have been in contact since. I talked to him in maybe like July because he had something that he wanted me to be a part of, and I did it for him because we are thankful for what he did. He saved my daughter's life, and without him, I don't know what would have happened. And I want to show my baby on the camera. This is Gemma. And we just want to say thank you to Sean. We appreciate everything you have did. You kept my family together. These are my other kids. They're in front of you, Yanni. Say thank you to Mr. Sean.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you. You are our angel. We just appreciate you, and I appreciate you getting my baby out that car. Thank you. You say bye-bye? Okay.
Now, will the Fire Commissioner and Mr. Eugene Janda please join me at the podium for the presentation of the award? Captain Smallwood. Captain Smallwood, if you could approach the podium, any remarks you'd like to have?
I just would like to say that I'm truly humbled and honored to receive this award. It's definitely unexpected. I would like to give a huge thank you to members of the executive team and the Health and Safety Office for giving me the resources that allow me to do my job daily. It will be very unselfish of me to not thank the COVID Task Force, Lieutenant Diane Felicia, Captain Raphael Jones, Lieutenant Bloomfield, and Paramedic Lisa McCall, Jack Eltman, Derek Bomer, and multiple people for helping me.
Good afternoon. This is actually, as previously mentioned, I'm a recovering alcoholic. So this is the second worst thing you can give me, the microphone. So I would like to start off by thanking God. Through Him, all things in my life have been possible. That includes the events that transpired on May 27, 2020. And since I don't have any plans on meeting God today, I would like to wish my beautiful wife Sylvia a happy 9-year wedding anniversary. For the most part, behind every good dude, there's an even better woman. And this is my story. I actually have two. Along with Syl, we have our little daughter, Angelina. She's the light of our world and such a blessing. She's crazy as a bedbug. She's our little nugget, and we love her. I want to thank everyone for being here with us today on simply the most important day of our lives. I'm not talking about this award. I'm not talking about our wedding anniversary. It isn't my birthday or any other notable event. It's simply the only day we got. Having been a member now in a 12-step program in good standing for the last 9 years, I do my best to live every day in the present. Every day is a gift. I try not to take that for granted. This moment, to me, is very easy to talk about because the whole experience was so heartfelt. The only reason I had to even write a speech was for the following section, and that's the thank you and the acknowledgments. First, I would like to congratulate Captain April Smallwood on a job well done and award very much deserving. Thanks to all the dignitaries that are here today. Commissioner Adam Thiel, Firefighter Brian Anderson, Gene Janda, and anybody else that I missed by name, thank you. Anybody that has any responsibility for me being up here today, it's an honor. Special thanks to Captain Joseph Big Mike Conroy for submitting my name for this award and the paperwork that had to follow up with that. He's a true leader and educator of the PFD. As a matter of fact, I would like to thank all the teachers and educators I had in my life, both in and outside the Philadelphia Fire Department. More specifically, the past and present members of the Cuckoo's Nest, Engine 68, Ladder 13, Battalion 7, and Medic 3. I'm a product of Roman Catholic High School, St. Anne's Grade School, in the neighborhoods of the Port Richmond Fishtown section of the city. Yes, that same Fishtown, where life lessons were learned on the soccer field and basketball courts, on the playgrounds and hockey rinks. There were no shortcuts or easy way outs, where taking your ball and going home wasn't tolerated because you weren't getting your way. To put it simply, my entire life I was taught right, from grade school to high school, in the neighborhood to the Philadelphia Fire Academy, to keeping the tradition and station pride alive and well at 801 South 52nd Street. More importantly, I was raised right, thanks to my parents for raising me with love. Love with no boundaries and no exceptions started at home. Long before schooling, long before sports, or any street corner lessons, family and God were always of the utmost importance. Being the second of 4 Irish Catholic kids, our parents showed me, Brian, Renee, and Timmy what love and sacrifice was all about. At this time, I'd also like to give a special shout out to my nephew, BL, Benny, Dami, and my niece, Mary, and all our little cousins, simply just because. Responsibility and accountability were commonplace. Thank God for good parenting. Thanks for teaching me to treat the janitor of a company and the CEO the same. Fair shakes across the board. That great human beings come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. So does nonsense. Stand up for what you believe in. Do the next right thing. Stand tall in the face of adversity. Things that were never really said to us. It was taught to us by their actions. So before I get into accepting this award, I think it's only fair of me to mention that there are many more Philly firemen more deserving of the award. Even just last year, Firefighter Ripper, what he did and his heroic actions. That was way cooler and tougher than anything I think I ever did. The result was the same. Tragedy was avoided and a human life saved. I like to think of myself as a 101 guy. I keep things simple. Many out in our field today have more knowledge and experience than I can hope to gain throughout an entire career. I am honored just to have worked and continue to work alongside some of them. And as it's been jokingly said, I'd be lucky enough to carry some of their boots to the fire ground. I am in fact very average. Another word you could use for that is ordinary. And I'm going to steal some lines from the Jimmy Valvano special, Survive in Advance. He's the coach of the 1983 Underdogs, NC State. The 1983 NCAA champs, I should say. This wasn't said by Valvano, but by one of his heroes. So here's the thing about ordinary people. God must have loved ordinary people. God must have loved ordinary people because He made so many of us. Ordinary people, though, here's the thing about that. Ordinary people do extraordinary things every single day. Do I think what I did was extraordinary that day? No, I do not. I believe God put me in this situation, this extraordinary situation, at that exact moment in time to make sure nothing happened to this extraordinary, beautiful little girl, Gemma. My buddy Chris always says God places us in people's lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. He uses us like little chess pieces. Where do you need me today? Father Michael Judge, the chaplain of the NYC, New York City Fire Department, and the first documented casualty in 9/11, his prayer was this: Dear God, allow me to meet who you want me to meet, allow me to say what you want me to say. Keep me out of the way. So no, nothing I did this day was extraordinary. In fact, it was rather routine, other than my outfit that day. T-shirt, shorts, and a pair of flip-flops. Calmness under pressure is the Philly Fire way. Allow your training to kick in. Take 5 seconds to save 5 minutes. I'm not an exception. I am the standard. Not only do I believe I'm the Philly Fire standard, I'm the American standard. 3 other ordinary do-gooders that were there that day playing their part as well. Leo Medwick of Northeast Philly was doing his part by making sure Lorna and her 2 eldest kids, George and Gianni, were led to safety. Also, 2 teenage boys from an adjacent car wash across the street of the accident came out with fire extinguishers, so I was able to put out that fire. After, of course, all life safety was accounted for. What these 3 individuals did that day was extraordinary. With no previous training, they jumped into action and a disaster was averted. And that's because of a team effort and human decency. And it's a beautiful thing afterwards, and it's all said and done, and we're high-fiving and hugging on the side of the road. Things went exactly according to his plan, though, that day, because all the chess pieces he decided to use. And the award and the recognition and the attaboys and being up here today, it's fantastic. But there's no award better than knowing we helped a mother in need that day. Protecting and ensuring Gemma's safety is the best possible award anyone could give me. My buddy and another mentor in my life, Scott, calls that God's money. Can't be bought. There is no monetary value to it. It's a feeling, and it must be required by doing some of the work. So as I close, I just want others to know some different things I've been trying to do lately. I shut off the TV. I put down my phone. I don't follow my social media. I go and have a conversation, whether it be with my mom or dad, my brother or sister, a coworker, or a total stranger. Over the phone or in person. Texting doesn't count. See different points of view. I listen. We have family dinner, often on Tuesday night down at the Dugan household. We do that with no phones. We laugh. Try to hold the door. Let someone merge in traffic, slow down, be kind, show love. I get my news today from my own daily interactions, my own judgments on personal experiences with family and friends and strangers alike. This world is still a beautiful place. What I'm saying is just give yourself a day. Sometimes I just need to decompress, breathe, and relax. There's much goodness all around us, and whether it's good or bad, positive or negative, I will find what I'm looking for. So as I graciously accept this award on behalf of all my previous mentors, coaches, and teachers, family and friends and co-workers at the Cuckoo's Nest, I want it to be known that I am honored. Honored to be awarded, honored to be up here today, honored to be part of the best profession in the world. Honored to have my name etched alongside some of the greats in the Fire Museum. Honored to play my part that day in keeping Gemma, Lorna, and the rest of her family safe. So good day, God bless, I love you. And remember, united we stand, divided we will fall. Love your neighbor, and I'll continue to be amazed at how a smile and a handshake can change someone's day. For God, for family, for city, for state, for country, for unity. Laugh hard, love harder. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to extend a special thanks to our board of directors of the museum and the sponsors of this prestigious awards, Lowe's Hotel, Kempton Hotel Monaco, and Cuba Libre. I would like to thank the officers and members of the Fire Prevention Division that helped put this program together. This now concludes our ceremony. Thank you.